All right, so start it off, Elias.
Ayo, ayo,
The Broskiedoodles, they're in the house. They're with your homies. They know what it's all about. They got them topics, but they don't really know what to say. They say they got opinions, but I just think they're fucking retarded. They're the Broskiedoodles. Bam, 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 bam. They're the Broskiedoodles. Bam, 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 bam. And they're the Broskiedoodles. Bam, 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 bam. And they're the Broskiedoodles. Wow, 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 wow.
ole.
Nice addition.
Joder.
That was good. That's the first time that one.
And that's probably the intro that we're gonna keep using. That's already copyrighted. So if you're gonna try to get that masterpiece and make it your own, Drake, don't.
Screw Drake. I'm just playing. He's a very good artist. Very good artist.
We got lawyers. He has ghostwriters. So let me tell you something. Kiko Cervantes, Kiko Flow in the building. They call me Alquimista Musical. They call me the Gods of Gods. You know, whatever people say, that's what they say. That's not me. I'm here in the building. We got some special people here with you. We got, like always, every time, right on my right side or left side, depending on how we want to do it that night, my boy, known in the East Bloc of the Eastern Europe Soviet scene as Steveski, known in the Steveski known in the West as Steven Gonzalez, so that he could, go around. People don't really, not too flashy, one of the bunch. And we got our boy Elia. He coming all the way in Miami too, and he's coming with some great energy. This guy always has an instrument on him.
He answers with instruments, right? Hey, bro, did you go to the grocery store?
People, right? I've heard people say his penis is an instrument, so that it goes that far. And when they say instrument, they said his dick was an instrument of evil. So you know what the fuck is up. But yeah, introduce yourself a little bit, Elias. Tell people what you do.
Well, my real name is Lito Daze. I don't like to give my government name out there. But now my name is Elias. I have half a degree in music business.
Better than no.
I have a half a degree in music business. I have a college credit certificate. I'm qualified as a business analyst according to Miami-Dade College.
Nice.
And then I didn't graduate high school on point, so I had to take summer school. But I got my diploma now, so I'm good to go. And I like music.
Right. So yeah. we got an intellectual in the house. Now, let us know a little bit more about the things that you actually do outside of your schooling, and more regarding your dreams, your passions, because I've known you for a while and we've shared passions. Some of them are intimate and some of them are more in the public sphere. But what would you say is what drives you in life and what really defines you as a person, more than what your job is and shit?
Well, to be honest, because I always am, I would think music has a big part of my life, That's what I love to do. Music production. Lately I took up a little bit of bushcrafting. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's the art of making fire. So I like to read a lot.
I thought bushcrafting was just like trimming your pubes in like a very artistic way.
Manscaping.
Because I'm into bushcrafting.
The art of making fire. This motherfucker's an alchemist. He's like, it's the art of making fire.
That's pretty cool, though.
You'll dive into that very soon, because I actually want to get into that shit. But continue. What other realms of this universe you get involved in, you little naughty?
Well, on my off time, during the day I'm a property manager, so that's what I hate to do. And then after I get out of work, I come straight into the studio, and this is what I do: music production. Got my own little mobile filming kit. I like to show people what I can do with a cell phone, and then You know, music production, video production is pretty much all I like to do. Go out there, fly my little drone, invade people's privacy, and just film whatever I can film, and then just make music for it. So that's
Nice,
pretty
man.
much what I like to do on my off time.
Yeah, man, your videos are pretty sick. Actually, I was really I was taken back by the one where you're in the car with your girl, and like all of a sudden you're flying towards the Miami skyline.
Yeah. She had to do that for a project, and we actually did it in the driveway. We put a green screen in front of the Mini Cooper, and then the freaking stand ended up falling on her car and denting it. But I mean, the video came out great though.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
That's priceless.
You know, for people that don't know, that's part of professional, high grade, elite production. So that's the type of stuff that we do here, the Broskiedoodles as well. As you can see, we have hundreds of staff that make sure that this show comes out as great as it does for you guys over there at home.
Correct.
And one thing that some of you might not know is that Lito Daze, he has his content on his own page, and he's gonna be bringing in a lot more content now that he's really active on that side. But he's doing TikTok or learning about it now. He's already an old guy, just like us. But we're trying to get in that TikTok world. First, understand it, because at this stage I don't really know what it is yet. But we're gonna have our friend Steven explain it in a bit. But yeah, Elias also has worked with me in many musical productions. We actually started producing and making music together when we were like, I don't know, 14, 15, and we experienced all kinds of fun times, along with good productions, along with our friend Steven too. So we know each other for a long time, and Elias is a production guy, a creative mind, and we always like to have people that have creativity and something to add to this podcast. So what is it that you wanted to explain to us? Because I asked you about this because I was actually very intrigued. You mentioned that you went recently on a trip to like some forest, and before you went there, you actually prepare yourself and you learn some bush skills, which, like my boy Steven said, it's kind of like what I thought it was, is what the skills you had to trim your shit without cutting a vein open.
This is like
what is it?
I thought he.
No, I'm sorry, Steven.
No, me or him?
No.
I was just gonna say like, yeah, like bushcrafting sounds very awesome. I mean, the art of fire. But when you first said it, I mean, aside from the manscaping, all I could think about were those wrestlers, the bushwhackers. You ever seen those? No,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, no.
Sorry, bro. It's just never mind. That was my angry day.
No, it's okay, bro. We'll edit that. No, we'll edit that out. No, but bush skills. You like art of fire. I'm thinking like an alchemist or like a fucking wizard that just like the art of fire. So explain to us a little bit what that is and how you were able to use it on your recent outgoing experience that you went to the forest of America to escape the coronavirus.
Well, about a week and a half ago, I came back from a trip to Georgia. I went first, stopped at Georgia, then went to North Carolina. We got these rooftop tents that we just purchased. Very cool. You literally just have you have a tent on the roof of your car, and you just unzip it, get the ladder, and the whole thing opens up in 2 seconds, and the tent is set up.
It has a base. You don't like dent your fucking roof?
Yeah. Well, I have a pickup truck, so I got a rack for the back that goes above the bed, and then that sits on top of that. So it's
nice.
Pretty much flush with the roof. So whatever, we went overlanding, as they like to call it, and I decided, I wanted to learn a little bit about bushcrafting, because
What up? Sorry, what's
overlanding is pretty much just, going out there, tenting in your car, and just the outdoors life, the camping life, just road tripping, overlanding.
Go on.
Yeah.
I guess, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I didn't describe it too well, but...
No, believe me, we won't correct you because we know less.
Yeah.
But
And
go on.
so I decided to get into the art of bushcrafting because I've been watching YouTube videos, and I see, this guy, he has his channel. I believe it's Kent Survival. That's his channel. Look him up. Pretty good. No,
Kent Survivor.
Like Kent. If you didn't understand his accent.
Also, if you're a cancer survivor and you want a cool channel, Can Survivor.
Damn, that's good.
Okay?
That's good.
I get 20% commission, but sorry.
So so I decided to learn a little bit more about bushcrafting. I've been watching YouTube videos, And starting a fire is not just getting a piece of wood and stacking it on top of another and just lighting a flame. There's different steps to lighting a fire.
I feels, but elaborate.
So you gotta start, right? You got your wood. You gotta get the shavings. You gotta have a special knife. I mean, you can use any knife, but you want to have a bushcraft knife. It's usually a thicker diameter knife. It's a harder, metal, a harder steel. So you want to get your shavings. When
you're talking about shavings, sort of try to explain it to people like
let's
me.
Let's talk about kindle.
Like you want to get the
Kindle.
The three parts of a fire, right? It's Kindle,
oh,
Tinder,
fuck, that's
and
what you used to read.
Something else. No, it's Tinder, Kindle, and then something else, right? Mr. Bushcraft.
Well, I mean,
to me, those are all like applications to fuck. All right, but anyways.
Sorry, please.
I mean, Kindles are, you're going to get a bit more intellectual bitches. But in any case, yeah. So continue. I'm just going to stop interrupting because.
So I mean, like Stevie D says, there's several steps to starting a fire. I'm not too well, knowledge on this, and that's why this mistake happened. But well, I was first getting the shavings of the wood is usually what you use to that would be the second step for me. First, I would use I believe the Tinder, Kindle, I don't know what the heck that is, but that's already like the bark of the wood, the really soft stuff, the moss, the dry leaves. Then I'd put that first.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but it's just I'm not being explained this part correctly. When you say shaving, you're getting a piece of wood and you're sort of cutting part of it. Okay, explain.
All right, let me start from the beginning.
I don't know anything.
This is what I
don't know anything.
I'd go around collecting twigs.
Imagine I'm retarded.
We don't need to.
I don't have. Yeah.
Right.
So I'd go around, looking for twigs. I shave the bark off. That's your. I don't know. I call that the Tinder, the Kinder, the Dinder. I don't know what it is, but that's what's gonna. That's gonna be. That's gonna be the beginning. What's gonna start the fire. So I get.
That's the cover of the twig.
Yeah, exactly. That dry moss, dry leaves.
Something that sparks up like immediately quick.
Exactly. Yeah. So once I got that, then I start doing the shavings off of a block of wood. That's already a bit thicker. Once, the tinder or whatever catches fire, then those shavings, which is a bit thicker and burns a little longer, is going to catch fire. And then once you got a nice fire there, I start putting my little blocks of wood, which usually I'll get, I'll find a piece of wood out there in the jungle. I'll saw it, and then where the knife comes in is once I have my firewood size pieces of wood, you're supposed to put the knife on top of the block of wood, and then you use another piece of wood in what's called batoning. And then so you with the batoning, you're supposed to hit the edge of the knife, and then that's how you split the wood. So these bushcraft knives are meant specially for that. Instead of getting an axe and stuff and you're making smaller fires, whatever, you can use one of these knives. But
what up? Real quick. So you grab the knife, you put it in the wood, and then with another wood piece, you hit the knife so that the knife cuts it.
Look, you have your piece of wood right here, and then you have your knife wedged in the wood on top, and then you have another piece of wood that you use to hit the edge of the knife in what's called batoning. And like that, you split the wood. And you keep doing that.
And he keeps bringing it down?
Yeah, and that...
And the knife doesn't...
Well, that's why you have to have your knife slightly angled forward so that when you hit it, it doesn't go back. And then you also have to have a thick knife. That's where the bushcraft knife comes in.
Okay, and then it's also that's the
art of bushcrafting, because anyone can go out there, get a piece of wood, throw some gasoline on it, and light it. And then either way, you'll see it'll probably turn out real fast. So whatever, either way, I had a couple of beers. I just got there to Georgia. And I had a couple of beers, very excited to try out my new knife. So I get this, piece of firewood. And you're supposed to wedge the knife in, first and then hit it. You don't use the knife as an axe. So that's what I did. I got the piece of wood like this. I had my hand like this, as you can tell.
Oh, shit.
And instead of putting the knife, like on top and then hitting it to get in, I went like this. I went like this to wedge it in. But the thing is, I slipped down the whole side of the wood and went straight to my finger, and I sliced it. I sliced it open.
First, you just pulled up, you just parked the car, and you lost half a finger.
Yeah, exactly. just open the tent first day.
That was the first thing he did.
That's usually like, you know how people get into accidents. They get into accidents a mile or two from their home, right? And whenever
I know all about that.
right, it happens. It has happened to me before. But when I go camping, right, the part that really fucks with you, you're setting up your tent. And by the way, I love being outdoors. Like, that's one of my favorite things in the world. But whenever I got to the campsite, Kiko. Do you stay over there, bro?
I love chilling on my porch.
Dude. No, but like camping and shit, like I love it. And anytime that I would go camping, it's always on the tent setup. Something, you get the wet socks, you get you get splinters in your hand, you get something, right? It's always in the very beginning. That's like that like crucial time. Like, you got to be careful. You got to know what you're doing as you're setting up and this and that to enjoy the rest of your trip. You know what I mean?
It sort of sets up the beginning of it.
You got to come correct. Come with the boots, with the wool. With the high heel, like the mid sole,
the high heels.
The high the stilettos. No, just that it's up your ankle. You know what I'm saying? At least for me.
I mean, whatever you're down to do in the woods, that's your thing, and that's why the Broskiedoodles was invented.
That's why they call it Into the Woods.
Yeah, that's what you bushcraft. Yeah. And one thing, Lito Daze, I have a question for you. After this happens, right? You see your finger halfway cut. You're like, I just got here, right? Like, what happens then?
Well, it's interesting what happened after that. I cut my finger, and my wife is right behind me. I don't remember what she was doing at the moment. The whole reason I bought this whole bushcrafting knife, besides the fact that I want to learn more about it, is I also got a wood stove. It's a stove like about this big. It's about 4 or 5 inches tall. You break it down into like 1.5 inches tall. It's great. And you can, just literally you put wood in there, and it has this design with these little, vents in the inside, and the fire literally just comes out like a stove. So that's why I wanted to do everything from scratch, like Bear Grylls, style.
Oh yeah.
So I cut my finger, and I'm like, I just look at it. I look at my wife like shit. I got fucked up.
You and her alone, or you got buddies there?
No, I had my roommates with me.
Oh,
so
oh. Are they like twice your age? And
yeah. One of them gave birth to me. One of them gave birth to me.
But that's neither here or there. We all pay the rent.
Yeah, no. I rented them a room out in my house. It's the biggest room because I'm humble, and I didn't need all the space, and how it is.
No judgment there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But he was with his roommates. He's been with them for a long time because they pay
about
time.
30 years.
They pay on time.
No, so I'm out there. I just whacked my finger. I look at my wife like, oh shit, like I messed up. And then so I'm like, all right, and it's dripping. It's like a constant drip, like tick, 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 tick. I'm like shit, like it's the coronavirus. I'm not going to a freaking doctor. The whole point of this trip was the fact that we can't go stay at a hotel. So let alone we're gonna go to a freaking doctor's office right now with these times.
Yeah.
So I go to sit down. There's a picnic table, there in the campsite. I go to sit down, and I have my finger pointed down, which, when you cut yourself, you gotta hold it up. I didn't really know that until it was too late. So
you didn't see that YouTube video.
I didn't see that part of bushcrafting, but so I had my finger down. It was dripping. And then, my mom comes up to me, and she sees it, and she's like, damn. I mean, my roommate. So she tells me to hold my hand up, and then I start holding it up, but I start like
What? But why haven't you at this time covered?
Well, I mean, I just went from where I cut it to go sit down.
Oh, okay, this is just in seconds.
Yeah, in seconds. So whatever. Long story short, I'm just sitting there, and I start feeling nauseous, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right. I told my wife, I'm feeling nauseous. I get up to go sit in another table in front of me, and then I start passing out. I'm like this, like
squeamish.
Yeah, no, but not even. I mean, I saw the blood. I've been cut before. I think my blood pressure dropped or something. I don't know what happened, but I ended up almost passing out. My wife was, panicking, and then my mom comes here. She's rubbing hand sanitizer all over my face so I can wake up. Because the alcohol is supposed to wake you up. So she's rubbing on my face. And then she gets a little fan. She puts it in, and I'm like this. I'm like this. My wife's like, oh my god. And I'm like this. And then finally, like the hand sanitizer actually worked. You know, it's a very good technique. The alcohol actually starts. And then she's like, get them M&Ms, because she thought maybe my blood sugar dropped. And I started eating M&Ms, and I started coming back to life.
He loves them shit.
M&M's, man.
And I came back to life, and that's, that was on the first day. So after that,
And then, but what about the finger? How were you able to?
Bro, I luckily the day before this trip, I had a credit at Chevrolet because my car was sitting there for like 30 days, and they try to, to make you feel better as a customer. They gave me a credit, and I just happened to purchase a first aid kit with that credit from Chevrolet. It's
with Chevrolet.
Yeah, like you took it to the parts department. They give you the there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
Bro,
And that shit saved
if I
you?
wouldn't have purchased that we didn't have anything. We didn't even have bandages.
Oh yeah.
So we just opened it up and taped it up.
You rip a
and-
shirt if that ever happens again, okay,
Yeah.
Bushcrafter? You rip
Yeah.
a shirt.
No, I mean, now I know, it's not an axe, so I'm not gonna chop my finger.
Yeah. Can we say if we plan a bushcraft
Retreat.
experience with you in the future, retreat with the homeboys and the Broskiedoodles and the Broskiedoodles, that you'll be a lot better at the skills of the bush?
For sure. I think after at most one more finger, I'm gonna be pretty on par with all my skills at bushcrafting.
What I'll do is I'll put my knife there. I'll axe it out
You wedge it in.
and I'll wedge it in,
I baton it.
and then you can use your baton, and then you know what I
Exactly.
mean. We could split the.
Yeah.
And we can all
We can all
baton
baton
each other. Talking about this going out in nature shit, I actually love it too. And in Venezuela, Lito Daze is also from Venezuela. Well, he wasn't born in Venezuela, but he's
I got Venezuelan blood.
right? Yeah, I mean, you could say you're Venezuelan. You don't
I
have to
mean,
say it
I'm
like that.
Venezuelan.
I got Spanish blood, and I'm not saying I'm Spanish. Yeah, so I'm fucking my bad. I'm not trash. Whatever. You're Venezuelan, so you know how it is over there, bro. You got a lot of like little retreats where you can go to the beach and camp out, and it's like on some other level
Yeah.
shit, right? So I remember, dude, one time. You know how you're talking about a lot of times these issues start at the beginning of the trip, where like you just got there and it's like flat tire, or you just got here, it's like I cut my finger, or you just got there and your keys got stuck inside the car with the car engine on, right?
No.
Well, in my case, bro, we were with my boys. Well, not my boys. I went with one boy to Cuyagua, a place called Cuyagua. I don't know if Lito has heard of it, but it's like this bay that's in Maracay, and you go all the way, and you go through this mountain that you feel like you're going up Kilimanjaro. Like, these roads are very narrow, and the bus drivers drive like crazy men that were just dumped by their girlfriends and high on cocaine. They don't give a fuck about life. There's no fucking barriers on these roads that you're going up the hills. But whatever, after you get through all this nightmare, you go down a bay, and it's a beautiful bay, and it's all very hippie and very Bob Marley-ish and shit, and people just chill there, put music, and you just surf and do the things and chill and drink, and they sell you like little liquors made out of like buds and things like that. So it's like magical, right? So I'm there with my boy. We go there to do a little surfing. I do a little paddle, bodyboarding, not surfing because I'm really fat and I'm a fucking, a bottle of mayonnaise. You cannot really get on a surfboard and be a bottle of mayonnaise at the same time.
Too slippery.
So maybe in the future, I might be able to surf because I am planning on losing all this weight and looking cuter than I look now. But let's see. Sometimes I win. Sometimes Domino's Pizza wins. So I digress. Moving forward. We're there 2 days. We're leaving on the third day. And on the night before we leave, my boys, it has a pickup. And he's like going to go get more resources from the little town that's next door. But this is very rural. Like, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere where barely electricity and running water get there. Like, the running water is the river.
How long ago was this?
This was like 2020. This is before I left Venezuela, so 2015. 5 years ago. So, dude, my boy's coming like at 3 a.m, coming from the town to the bay. Again, we're in the beach. We're sleeping in the fucking sand with tents and shit. And his truck, break something because he's just fucking wilding out, dog. We just hear it like, pa! And then when we get to the camping site, and then we figure out the fucking thing is fucked. And it's not fucked like an easy thing. Like, it's fucked like the train drive or some shit just got some, like, fucked up shit, bro. And where we're at, we're so far and so, like, unreachable. Like, just to imagine a tow truck getting there. So, dude, this guy calls his insurance. Tow truck is like, well, we can't make it there today because they knew where we were. Like, you're in the fucking end of the world in these fucking hills that you have to. But his insurance had to pick him up. So they're like, we can pick you up tomorrow. And we're like, all right, I mean, that's cool because then we can party tonight and we don't have to leave tonight. We can stay here at the beach party. So we tell the guy, how about this? How about if instead of picking us up tomorrow with the tow truck, can you pick us up the day after? And they were like, all right. So we turned that bad situation into a not as bad. We're like, fuck it. We'll stay here Monday and Tuesday. We'll stay a couple extra days. Pick us up in 2 days, dog. We're going to keep drinking and chilling here, surfing, smoking, chilling with them girls. I'm just thinking all over the world. So the guys that came to pick us up 2 days later, shady ass guys, like hood guys from Venezuela, came to pick us up on a tow truck from like 1947. This tow truck, I was like, how is this gonna take us up the mountains? So this is Venezuela. We put the truck in the, my friend's truck in the tow truck, and then we start going up these hills. And we wanted to burn on the way. So we sat on my boy's truck that's on top of the tow truck, which is not really legal. But the guys were like, yeah,
what
whatever.
is legal in Venezuela?
So, right. So we're going up these hills like Kilimanjaro shit. Like dude, when I'm talking about hills, like mountains that have this little space. And no barriers, no nothing. And we're going up this shit. And we're on the second floor of this thing, smoking. And all we see is clouds. And we see buses destroyed at the bottom. And every turn you feel like you're gonna go. Man, one of the craziest experiences, but one of the funnest too. And one of those stories that when you leave your country, because you have to leave and you don't never know when you're gonna come back, you're like, fuck, man, I'm glad I lived through that shit, because that was some crazy shit. But that's an experience where this shit happened at the end, not at the beginning. And then we just extended that a little bit.
It's usually in the transitional periods, right? In or out. So, dude, I love it, man. There's a place here in the U.S. in like Arizona. It's called dang, I gotta find it, but it's basically you can either get there with a helicopter or you walk 7 miles out into like a Grand Canyon type of area. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
All right.
And let me see here. Man. Shoot, dude.
But what, like a place where you go?
Yeah, it's a retreat. It's actually I'll get the name of it, but it's basically an Indian reserve already out there. You have to get tickets to go, so it's you have to first come first serve. You try to call, you get the reservation, and then you're able to go. And then that's if you want to stay there, because they have like very rural, no electricity, no Wi-Fi, no nothing, but like they're little cabins. You can get a cabin, or you can get like a tenting area, like a camping area, but only a certain amount of people per night, but there's like they're like falls, there's like waterfalls. It's super dope. I mean, the water's crystal clear. It's like an oasis inside of the Grand Canyon.
This is over, man. I'm super down to like plan that shit out.
Awesome.
And I'm also super down Lito Daze when I go by your areas, guys, to also get one of those trucks, put a motherfucking tent on top, because that's something that in Venezuela they do a lot, because they go to these beaches with those tents and then you just sleep there.
The thing is, in July, the only places you want to camp, well, pretty much anywhere out of Florida. Yeah. Because right now is peak tick season. I don't know if you've ever, I I don't know if you ever been out there camping and just came back with a bunch of ticks on you.
Yep. No, I do. It's the worst. It's like from June to September, dude. I mean, it's raining. You got mud. It's like the conditions are trash. The conditions are trash in Florida. They're beautiful like every other time of the year. And when you go to Jenny Springs or you go Rainbow River, any one of those up there, it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like the South Florida, Miami that you know, Kiko. Well, you've been in Gainesville, right? So like,
yeah,
you know, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
No, I know in Florida there's a crazy. There's like the Devil's Den. There's a bunch of places that you can go and have some crazy stuff. Talking about like this type of retreats, I wanted you guys to see this retreat. Is on the chat here.
The one I sent. Okay, here, Temple. Oh yeah.
Temple of the Way of Light. Oh no. This is not the type of retreats I'm talking about, though.
No. No. This is a little bit different. These little retreats are absolutely crazy. I had a buddy of mine tell me about this 2 days ago.
He went on it?
No, that he's going on it. This particular one, or the one he's going on, I don't know if it's this website, but the one he's going on is in Costa Rica.
You know, I've had a lot of friends just from high school just completely turn into these, I don't want to call them hippies,
bro.
But
What up?
Dude,
I wanted before you say this, I wanted to. I brought this up with Lito Daze because Lito Daze and me, we're not gonna say names. We have friends in common that are into this Pachamama world loving thing, which is super cool. These guys are fucking cool ass people. I got love for them. But Elias and me always have found it to be like a bit, comical. So with that being said, like, continue.
no, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know. It's been really weird transitions. Like these people used to know and used to be either like all laid. Well, they're probably more laid back now, but they just now they believe in very different things or like you guys were speaking of, the other day, conspiracy theories and things that like, it's just, it's...
they're a little bit more, they're like way out there. And it's crazy because like the buddy that I know, and I love him, he's a great guy, like honestly, but he's like, he went from like breeding aquarium type of fish and jellyfish and reef and coral. Then he got into glass blowing, right? This is like
how it starts.
I feel like it's always like it starts like with some crazy shit.
I think I already know who you're talking about.
Berto. You know Berto? I didn't know. So dude, sort of, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it goes from like aquarium life, and he's like driving to Naples, has his own company, like doing his thing, Then he starts glass blowing, and he's like building a kiln in his fucking garage next to his jellyfish. Yeah. And I'm there, right? I'm fucking
transitioning.
Yeah, this like it's like it's like a transition period, bro. Like his motorcycle that he can't drive because his DUI, his fucking aquarium, and his guy. And like I said, I love the guy. I honestly like he's one of my favorite people ever.
Besides the roast.
Then dude, all of a sudden he's like going on these retreats. He's like in a camper van, and like everybody's like talking about love and like loving on each other. And I'm like, all right, well, this sounds like a giant orgy.
No, man, on the real, sometimes these people get into some things and I'm cool with it, but it's a little bit like, I don't know, it's weird. But I wanted to go into a program that actually Steven had found. It's a retreat in Peru, and Steven wanted to sort of, I'm not talking shit here or putting him out there on a limb. He was thinking of this, and I thought that it would be not only therapeutic but actually effective and useful for him, for us to review this ayahuasca retreat explain first. We will explain what ayahuasca is if you don't know, and we're also gonna explain this program that we see here. We're not being paid by them, but if they feel that our contribution to the distribution of their services is something that's worth to them, then maybe you can give us money. But really, we're just here to sort of make fun of it. So, Steven, please explain to us, because you had been looking into this. What does this 12-day ayahuasca retreat in Peru entails? What does it include? What does it cost? And what are the benefits that we can get out of this if the Broskiedoodles decides to go full throttle on this to try to improve and fix our minds to maybe bring more content and better content? And and we'll take Lito Daze. I mean, he's lucky he was in today's episodes. We'll fucking take him. So I want to first know.
Sign up for.
Sell this shit to me.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to sign him up for it. You know what I'm saying? This is like some heavy shit because
No. I mean, we'll invite him. He has to. Obviously, he will be the one to decide. But I'm saying, I just think that if we were gonna do it, whatever guest was with us that day, we'll take him in this retreat.
So,
and obviously the sponsors will pay for all of it. But explain a little bit of what this entails and what does include.
Ayahuasca, to begin, is basically a thousands and thousands of years they've been doing this ritual where it's basically a tea or like some kind of, they call it an ethogenic brew. Okay, and it's made of like a vine.
Wait up. Why the fuck is Lito Daze laughing at this shit?
I mean, because I already know where you're going with this, and
well, what do you mean? Where is he going with this?
No, I mean, I find it very interesting. You guys are.
Apparently not. You find it comical, which is.
I mean,
no,
I was just talking about. I was just talking about my high school friends, but I'm starting to see,
Kiko's signing up for this cult. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
How it starts.
If you have past experiences or like issues in your mind about memories and things that you've had, that's you. But don't disrespect the topics here. This is a friendly podcast, but we will stand our ground where needed. All right.
Respect.
So don't laugh at Steven's study of maybe going to Peru and doing some very wild shit. At least Steven, go on.
Virtual healing.
Basically,
No, it is serious, Steven. Don't
okay.
Be always humble. Don't play it down.
So basically, ayahuasca, right? And it's funny when you Google it says ayahuasca on what is ayahuasca. Google calls it a pharmaceutical. But all right. So basically, it's a tea brewed of vines and shrubs and whatever else is found in South American countries, I guess. Some witchcraft shit. And then basically it's a ritual where like you're praying with a shaman and you're supposed to be able to drink this drink and tap into your
let me call you right there real
soul.
Quick. Shaman. What is a shaman? Because I saw this black guy come on TV the other day. They said he was a shaman.
Whoa.
A shaman.
Bro, we're trying to get sponsors here.
So
be careful the way you talk to black people and about black people in this podcast.
Because this guy,
all right,
first and last time,
for real. This
all right.
The shaman,
sorry, go on.
A shaman, I would guess is like a priest.
No, but let him say what he was gonna say.
The guy came on and he was talking about breathing, and then also like, telling yourself certain things, and I just didn't know what the heck he was talking about. But I want you to tell me what a shaman is exactly. Is it a religion? Is he a
Yeah, so shaman is like is equivalent for me, from what I read, is like a monk. You dedicate your life to like a religious practice, and you become the way of the gateway for other people to whatever it is the belief is, right? And in this case, a shaman.
Is this before or after the ayahuasca?
No, these are the guys who they're the plug for the ayahuasca.
Okay, but before you become a shaman, you have to take a very heavy dose.
No, actually, you don't have to be a shaman in order to do this. The shaman is basically the healer, or
he's like Charles Manson.
Yeah, hopefully without the killing.
The shamans also take the.
Yeah, they do, but they're like.
I mean, maybe not on your session, but these motherfuckers know what the fuck is up. I mean, they they're not shamans because of nothing. They done the deeds, if you know what I mean.
So basically the shaman you go to this retreat and you're greeted by the shaman, and then you're brought into a world of like peace and harmony, and like, you know, disconnected from technology and everything like that, and you start to like it's like a retreat where you learn about yourself. The idea is to like just become one with your old soul or your new soul, or like it's wherever it takes you, really, because everybody has a different experience. And I mean, some people are saying that like they'll be in a prayer circle and they're doing like yoga to like open up their blood cells, but then like they drink this ayahuasca before, so in the middle of their yoga session, you know, they start to like go on this real trip, and actually, bro, it doesn't really sound really good to begin with, because there's like, you start throwing up. Like, people are like, oh yeah, I only started feeling the effects after my 4th vomit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not trying to do all that shit. But
I mean, are you trying to change your life?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is at what cost, right? So I guess you have to throw up a couple times. It's not a big deal, but still, you're in Peru, you're disconnected. Like, it just feels like there's no.
We threw up a lot more times in our youth and got no shit in return.
But yeah, so it,
except a couple jail sentences and lost opportunities and degrees that were never finished.
What's crazy though is, like, for instance, this particular program is like 12
disappointed parents and sad girlfriends,
roommates. But
I'm trying to vent here, guys. I'm having a very sad day. Now I'm playing. My bad.
So no, but I mean, so this particular 12-day retreat here, you got to register. Dude, they want like $1,500 a head, bro. Let's just start
ahead.
Yeah, like, oh,
what up? Ahead of time or per head?
Per person.
Hold on. How much?
No,
$1,200 to $1,500, depending on the season.
No, I think you're wrong. They want a deposit of $1,350 and then the final installment $1,350. So the total is $2,700.
No, I don't know about this one here. I didn't see that here. When I googled like other retreats, they were saying that.
Oh, I'm going for the one that you sent me, and I think that we shouldn't be lying to our public. I'm talking about the Temple on the Way of Light Ayahuasca retreat, 12-day in Peru. I'll send the link again.
I'm on it right here.
Maybe maybe the production company that we have is just not doing the things. I might have to fire.
All right,
people,
so you pay $1,200 to $1,500, and you go on a 12-day trip to Peru, in a jungle, and they feed you some vines, that you eat, and then And then you just trip for 12 days, and then you're a new person.
Well, you don't trip for 12 days, but the 12 days last the whole thing. Like, I'm guessing at the beginning. Well, I mean, this is what I wanted to explain. The sample schedule is on the day 1, you arrive, you have a little group meeting and orientation, you have some vapor bath,
sign a lot of,
and then a little time.
These forms.
Yeah, a lot of forms that say if I die today, I don't have to return. I can be fed to the crocodiles. Yeah.
And
then you have vapor baths. Then you have time to relax and move into the tambos. I don't know.
And then you never use shoes again.
And you have dinner.
Right?
Shoes.
Everybody like does away with their shoes. What is this? Like,
look at this, bro. Day 2, they have a thing that is called the vomitivo at maestra's casa, and that sounds, I never heard of this word, but vomito is throw up in Spanish. So vomitivo maybe it's like a throw up party that you do first before anything. And this is at 7 a.m. 2 hours later, you do breakfast. So maybe it's just to empty your stomach and have a nice breakfast. I think it sounds nice. Then you have another group meeting, lunch, consultations, time for relaxation, floral baths, and you have the first ceremony at 8 p.m. on the second day. On this ceremony is when they start giving you the ayahuasca. Not in hard doses, but, little by little. On day 3, you kind of have the same little stuff. Day 3, yeah, I have I'm still learning English. You have the second ceremony, and then every other day after that, you have a ceremony. And the 7th ceremony is on day 10. It's called Arcana, and this is where you're supposed to sort of grow into your like demon self and become.
Hold on.
Like a
but that's supposed to be the good part.
I guess, dude. I don't know what the hell.
Look.
I mean, the good part is after this, when you leave and you become a fucking powerful motherfucker, dog. I mean, what part
The
don't
only
you get?
thing that this reminds me of is I forgot where it was. You know, they say don't drink the Kool-Aid, but I forgot the guy's name. Where was it where this incident happened?
Yeah, this was not Manson, not them.
Or like a cult.
But, yeah,
A cult.
we're
In California, it's like a yoga, hot
Jim
yoga.
Jones.
They all got
Jim
in a
Jones.
tent.
That's the
Yeah.
guy's name. He was, you know, a pastor in I really don't know what type of church, but you know, he started this congregation and then in Jonestown, Guyana in the 70s.
Guyana. Yeah.
Guyana.
Yeah.
Tomato.
That's next to Venezuela, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
can you know, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just an excuse to go out there and trip for 12 days.
So I got a buddy of mine who like started traveling and he started getting really into like being
An expensive way
for
to
real, $2,700.
If you ask me. I mean, if you want to go trip in Peru for 12 days, dog, call me up. I can hook you up.
But it's
for a
not
better
about the
price of
money. It's about the
$2,700.
spiritual healing.
Right.
It's about spiritual healing.
But when you look at the healers, they, you know, it looks like if you get 20 people, everybody in one of these healers will be straight for the rest of the
For
year.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys get these drugs from these Indians and don't know what the fuck is happening. Then they made like 23 grand on a bunch of fucking Europeans and Americans. I had the best time of my life and I realized that really I shouldn't be hitting my kids and that I should love and that I should be a good person. And yeah, I tripped my balls out.
Oh, dude.
I'm not down for the...
Psychological
I'm not down
healing,
for the
personal growth,
whole-
and expanding consciousness. I mean, like for me, I was just, you know, I was looking at this and I was thinking, wow, you know, like, what if people really have like these, like, who would it benefit? Does it benefit the people who are like really depressed, like they have like something wrong with their lives, where like, because I mean, I remember back in the day when things were a little bit more wild, like, you know, taking psychedelics was like, that was eye-opening. Like, I don't know if I would do it again
What?
today. I've been recently invited to do it again.
What?
Not to this ayahuasca thing,
What?
but like when one of our good friends called me to tell me that he wants to go do something very soon, and I'm just like, yo, like, I'm down at first, right? And then at the second, then I'm like, oh my god, like, I'm older now. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know where my blood pressure's at. I don't know where any of this.
Do it!
Right? But then I'm like, no, let me nut up. I'm a fucking man. I could do this.
I'm a man.
Where's my handle? Goddamn it.
I want my handle, goddammit. I'm 30. I can still party. God, let's go to Ultra Music Festival.
So he wants to come with the fixins, and I really don't know. I mean, I at first I was like all gung ho for it.
It's scary. At
this
this
age,
age,
it's different.
At this age, I've become a little bitch myself. People offer me rum that's not from Venezuela. I get sketchy. You know what I mean?
Why is that? Why
offer me
from
some-
anything not from Venezuela? Like, is that?
Now I'm just making a joke.
Oh, I
I'm just
don't
saying,
know.
like, unless I'm doing like the normal stuff, which people that are part of the Broskiedoodles know what the fuck I'm talking about. Everything else, I'm just like, yeah, you know, you're good as my, you know, memories, stories. But for now, I think I've discovered the insides of my brain already, and I'm good.
I mean, I don't know how much more I can fry my brain. So when I think about that, you know, I think these people that do this ayahuasca stuff,
Ayahuasca. Put some respect on the name.
You know, they always talk about opening this part of your brain and this and that. But I mean, you trip, you see shit, you believe shit, and you just, you know, it's your chemical
inconvenient.
imbalance going on inside your brain, and then you just start believing this crap that people tell you. Okay, you know, obviously you take that crap, and then you see God or something standing in front of you talking to you while you're rolling your eyes back, and then you get out of the trip and then you think you're a new person. But I mean, me and Kiko, back in the day, you know, we were laying on the beach and we thought, you know, I thought I was laying against a dam. It was weird, man. I thought I was laying against a dam and I was looking down at a bunch of cars passing by, and then the wave sound started becoming the sound of cars, and you know, I could have said I visited.
The sky became like the movie screen.
Like, you know,
and we were just
but
flipped
I think
over.
just, you know, when you fry your brain too much, you know, that's when you stop wearing shoes. That's when you start, you know, posting conspiracy theories online and just, you know.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you guys
Also-
covered that topic on the conspiracy theories, man. Because I mean, you gotta believe some of this stuff, you know, because this world isn't perfect. You know, you got the 1%ers, this and that. Who knows if there's really something, you know, going on? But conspiracy theories are based more on what people just almost make up and believe in with no proof, you know, at all. So I think that's kind of like the road you'll start going to if you take too much ayahuasca.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, that's
they
my
knock down
2
your
cents.
they knock down your guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you put yourself in a very vulnerable state. I mean, that's just like psychology 101, right? Break them down and build them back up. And if you build them back up with positive, you know, reinforcements and things like that, I mean, and then you can go even further and then start pumping the whole, like, I mean, material things are evil and people are, you know, this and that. Then you start to get all kinds of crazy, and then you toss the Nikes.
I'm talking crap. You know, at the end of the day, if it makes you happy, you know, go ahead, bro. You know, go to the jungle, eat that shit, and, you know, start talking to trees and start, you know, having all these, you know, different types of experiences. As long as you're happy, man, you know, whatever floats your pickle, like, go and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's worse to be like, you know, pissed off guy and just talking shit about everything like me. But I mean, what?
Yeah.
So you guys are going on this trip to Peru, huh?
Yeah, we're going to Peru. To add to what you're saying, we're going to Peru as the Broskiedoodles to do this, and we're gonna do it to see if it changes our life and reroutes our podcast in a way that it can actually be successful. We already have 40 subscribers, and I'm really fucking glad and appreciative of all of you motherfuckers. We're gonna keep doing this shit. And I don't give a fuck if it's 40, 50, 3 subscribers. We're going to keep doing this shit. We're going to keep improving the quality. We're going to keep improving the content. And we're going to try to do less substances so that our brains can work better each time. On that note, when people talk about going on a psychedelic adventure and being like, dude, my life changed and now I can know what to do.
These are the same people voting for Bernie Sanders. You know, I mean, there's some type of connection there, but
Bernie's handing
I
ayahuasca
told
at his
Steven.
fucking rallies.
I told Steven today, like, hey, bro, today let's not talk politics because we've been talking a lot of politics on all of our podcasts, and let's just like have a fun one. But it always comes up. No, but for real though, like this whole like, yeah, bro, like this changed my life and shit. I think there's some truth to it, and I think we've all been involved in experiences where we can think they were, you know, but a lot of times it's simply you were just tripping balls and that's it. Like nothing changed. Your mind didn't become smarter. You didn't realize the fucking correct perspective to make your life work. No, you were just tripping pelotas and that shit felt amazing and it was cool as fuck while it lasted and you made amazing memories with your boys, but that's it. Like, I think we gotta think of it as, okay, there are times where, depending on the moment, depending on the people, you can have a very magical moment and something can click and change, but also most of it is just you're tripping that night and it was fun and that's it. And stop fucking putting the shit on a pedestal like you're fucking, yeah, bro, I microdose every day and like I'm always I'm sharp, bro. I microdose. It's only a little bit. I only put a little quarter of a mushroom in my eggs. I do eggs Benedict in the morning, of course, and then I'm just always like
microdosing.
I'm just always on the fucking realm.
Dude, yeah, no, man. I don't understand how that, like, for me, all of my experiences were that, right? It's something to say, dude, I did that. Like, it didn't take me. I didn't get addicted. I didn't, like, go down the wrong path. But also, it kind of made me understand. The only thing it made me understand more is, like, my body and my tolerance, right? Like, what I can take, what I can't take. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes people... Animal. And my my tortoise, my inner tortoise. No, so I guess for me, and everybody's different, obviously, but for me, like, people look at this and they talk about this and they're like, oh my god, like, I can never, like, do that, like, that's crazy. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, this is not as crazy as you think, but it is crazy. But it's not like I'm going to potentially need to have 911 on speed dial kind of thing.
I'm glad you're touching this topic, because I used to have a lot of sleep paralysis. I mean, I'm sure you guys know what that is.
Yeah, you would seize up like that?
Yeah, so pretty much it all started. I remember the first time it happened, I was at my boy's apartment and I was laying on his couch and I couldn't sleep. Or it was like 3 a.m. and I was like trying to fall asleep. And then as I was falling asleep, all of a sudden I paralyzed and I can't move. And I'm trying, and I have so much fear in me, and there's a shadow coming over me. And all I hear is,
oh shit.
And I can't move. And I'm trying to move and I'm trying to scream. And then finally, like, I snap out of it. I'm able to move. But then when I snap out of it, the fear is all gone. The shadow's all gone. And I'm like, all right, I was fucking dreaming, you know, like, but this dream felt very realistic. So then I just lay back down. And as soon as I lay my head on the pillow, paralyzed. But the point of this story is, which that shit happened to me a lot. But the point of the story is that when you have sleep paralysis, pretty much your body enters REM sleep while consciously being awake. So, I mean, when you enter REM sleep, your body paralyzes every night. When you enter REM sleep, it's the deepest part of your sleep, and your body paralyzes itself so you don't act out your dreams. Because otherwise you'd be freaking moving around, opening the door if you're dreaming about using the bathroom. So the whole point of sleep paralysis is that you enter REM sleep while being consciously awake. So you can see everything around you, but your body is literally in the deepest state of sleep. So, and what happens when you're in that deep state of sleep, of REM sleep, is you start hallucinating, you start seeing crap, you start hearing shit. And, you know, it's all in your freaking head. Although, if you need to watch this documentary on Netflix on sleep paralysis. It's very interesting. But the point is, like, your brain, you start hallucinating, you start seeing all these types of shit. And it's just like, it's the same shit. You know, you open that part of your brain by taking all these types of chemicals but people start, you know, believing in what they see, feel, and hear. And like I said, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But I think it also transforms you into a hippie. So, you
morph into you start to grow dreads.
Into a goddamn
dreads.
I think America's problem right now is that we got too many damn hippies, and everyone's become soft. Like you guys said in the last one of the podcasts, everyone's become so soft. It's all about rights, this and that, and we got too many tree huggers. And everyone's taking everything personal. Everything is a problem with everyone. So that's why, like, I feel like if you start going down that road, America is just gonna fucking, you know, plummet to the ground, and we're all gonna be freaking, you know, butthurt about everything. So
I respect that, and too many tree huggers. Get Richard Nixon back in office.
Vote for Trump.
Get me Nixon on the line.
Goddamn hippies. Fucking queer.
No. Okay. Oh man. All right. So
there's fucking Transformers coming out here. God damn it.
Yeah, man. No, it's insane. And don't get me wrong.
If you were born a man, you a man.
The fact that people are trying to make right by the world. That's so cool and everything, but I just feel like when you get hurt about something and you get hurt about something and you get hurt about something, it's like, where, you know what I mean? Like, how many restrictions and obstacles do we need to put in our way to keep moving forward? Like, just take the hit. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of times where Kiko and I or you or whoever, we're just talking, and sometimes it's like, well, maybe we shouldn't be like I could get butthurt about, say, a customer of mine getting in my face or disagreeing with something, right? Or I could just take it like a man and then counteract and just keep on moving forward. It's not like, oh my God, like how can you tell me that? Like, that's so rude. Well, this whole conversation, this whole sentence I just said is pointless to getting to the solution, right? So it's like, why do we care that?
It's attention, man. It's attention. I think everyone is just dying for attention. And then, people, you got people that are into certain things and they feel like they were never recognized for it, maybe. And now, they're trying to find something that can offend them to just point people out on it, or I'm a property manager, man. And I feel like I'm also a very dark person in the way I think of things, my humor, everything. I feel I'm very dark. I feel I'm very negative too, but you know what? That's for my counselor. I don't know why I'm saying that, but the point is, like, I'm a property manager and I deal with people all the time. And man, it's made me into a freaking, like, I don't, the shit people say, I don't take anything anymore. Like, I've heard all the stories, I've heard all the lies, I've heard everything. And it's just like people just, I don't know, I've just learned more about people than I should. It sounds like I'm talking shit, and I am. But
no, bro, definitely not. You're adding some important shit, and I actually wanted to get your opinion on a video that we played last week, and so here in the chat is a video. Click on it so that it opens it, and once it's open, put it on
Karen?
volume, and we're all gonna put.
Oh shit!
Huh? No! But stop it! Stop it!
They're gonna cancel your show because of me, man.
No.
No. Believe me, we're gonna be canceled already, even without you. So, all right. So look,
we were talking about that whole trying to
put
get
it from
fired.
the beginning and wait so that we can all put play at the same
All right,
time. Okay.
You tell me when to press play.
I'm set.
All right, press play, and we're gonna see it all together.
Yeah,
You ready,
go for it.
Steven?
On the
Okay, one.
hold on. Do we press play on 3 or right after 3?
Yeah, on
On
three. No, like so we go 1, 2, and 3, and then on
shit,
3
I
we
pressed
press
play.
play. Okay.
I thought that was the countdown.
No, don't. No, go back. It's okay. It's important for the people, the viewers, to see all our process.
Don't say
you
3
ready?
though, unless you really. Okay, go.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's for real now. 1, 2, 3.
Ma'am, it is ma'am. I actually paused the video to make the thumbnail, and I could just see the guy behind the counter just freaking out.
Damn. What was he buying at GameStop though?
Bro, Call of Duty hadn't arrived, bro. I mean, it's justifiable.
I need your corporate number.
That's like a morph of many things. You know what I mean? That's a Karen. That's an angry
that's what
inmate.
I thought it was at
That's
first, until I heard it talk. I mean, him talk.
her, man.
Yo, what the fuck, Elliot?
What?
We're trying to fucking be.
I'm sorry.
Ooh! I will get that number right now. I'm sorry. Don't crush my face.
So yeah, I mean, you get the gist of it. Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean,
All right. So Lito Daze.
I'm sorry.
Well, obviously, this is the
Yeah.
first transgender Karen that we have experienced. This happened a few months back, and And do you think that you should be going to GameStop when you're on your third cycle of steroids?
I mean, I mean,
Maybe
you
the
got it.
first. Not the
You got it on point. It is the first transgender Karen that I've seen, but you know, she didn't act, you know, appropriate inside this GameStop. Although, you know, I just all I was thinking about, like, what did she go there to buy, or what are transgender Karens? What type of games are they into? You know, but no, you know. I think you should wait at least a week after your last injection before, you know, going to GameStop.
to complain, right? You know, you don't want to go right.
She
where
was
the
having a
road
bad
rage
day,
starts
man. She
kicking
was
in.
having a bad day. It had nothing to do with GameStop or the guy. I mean, that was the cherry on top, but she was having a bad day, and that just sealed the deal.
What cherry? The poor guy didn't know what the fuck to call it.
No, I know. Me too. I wouldn't know what the heck. It's like when it's when someone cross-eyed comes up to me. I don't know what eye to look at. You know what I'm saying? But I want to respect.
Right.
So yeah, but I don't know. I mean, she was just having a bad day. I'm sure it had nothing to do with what the guy really said. Maybe her boyfriend dumped her, and I don't know.
I mean, you know, GameStop's motto is, you know, power to the players. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
That's true.
maybe she just leveled up inside the
Maybe
store.
they try to offer her like $5 for a copy of, you know, freaking Call
Crash
of Duty.
Bandicoot.
Yeah, you know, and
I mean, GameStop is known for offering 3 cents and a piece of candy.
yeah. I mean,
for your
if
new
you
Halo.
if you just came off your last shot of steroids and you go straight to GameStop to sell a game, it's just a freaking like it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, perfect
Yeah.
mix
Yeah.
for a murder.
Yeah.
We're lucky we didn't win it.
But no. In all reality, you know, I want to say, you know, I respect, you know, transgenders, all that sort of stuff. I've never been against any of that. You know, like I said, at the end of the day, what makes you happy within your own house, like, you know, as long as you don't try to force it on people, that's another thing. I feel, you know, like this whole, I don't know if I should get into that, but there's a lot of things being
you
forced
should.
onto
Hey,
people and kids.
Nobody watches this, so you can go really deep.
Yeah, once it blows up, then they're gonna freaking cancel this. Nah, man, but I'm really happy for the Broskiedoodles. I have not missed one episode. Watch it every morning on my way to work, and it's the funniest, most also knowledgeable. I don't know how to speak.
Educative.
I'm probably one of the dumbest guests you've had on this show so far. I was like, damn, I told Kiko before I came on, like, don't talk about politics, because all I know about is.
We set the bar really low.
But either way, I didn't mean to go off topic, but respect, you know.
No, but thanks a lot. We really appreciate that. But I don't want you to get off topic on what you were saying. Could you just remind me what you were just saying? Is I have a short time memory problem that has to do with things that my doctor said I shouldn't speak about it. But I have a short time memory thinking. What was I just talking
Where am
about?
I?
No, that he was.
What do you mean about the whole forcing onto thing?
Yeah, so the forcing on the hippies. Oh yeah. So you're saying that you're cool with the transgender?
Yeah, man. I mean,
like,
bro,
yeah.
I'm not gonna.
So let me ask you something. Are you good? Like, would you be with a transgender woman? Like, would you have sex with a transgender woman? Not now that you're married, but like in your single life.
No.
But then you're going, you know, then you're being transphobic.
No. I disagree, bro. I mean, for me, it's not about being transphobic. It's just I'm just not into like previous dudes.
Yeah, but you see that you're saying right there. That's being fucking the word that
Transphobic.
says that you're mean.
No, but like why?
That's what America is nowadays. How you're pulling off that excuse, that response. That's how it is with everything.
So obviously,
But what's wrong with like I'm not into like
obviously,
whatever, you know?
obviously I'm fucking with you
No,
guys,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm panning this in a way to prove how you can really like make it look like also you're a piece of shit. Also, you wouldn't fuck a trans woman. she's a woman now, or you wouldn't, or so you transphobic, right?
What if I look at sex? What if I look at sex though, like as a reproductive act more so than anything else, right? Like, can a transgender woman?
No, but you don't. But you are, because you're a horny motherfucker. I know
it's
you.
True, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like people are gonna come out into the public and try to throw something like that, but then it's not okay for someone to back up their own thought process and say, well, no, I'm actually like, I'm not into it, because really the long term of that doesn't have something that I want, which is, let's say, to bear children, right? But they won't post that. They won't put that part on the story.
No, but
is what I'm saying.
I don't want to cut you off, but I think you're going on another route. What I'm talking about is, there's people in the trans community, or some of them are not even in the trans community, but they always want, they want to go and defend the trans community. A lot of times it's a white Karens trying to defend people that don't even are asking for defense. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, oh, they should have more rights. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. We don't, but whatever. There's trans people, right? The argument for this thing is that, like, a trans woman shouldn't have to tell a guy, like, hey, I used to be a guy before. Because now, bro, in the cover of Sports Illustrated or one of these things, there's this fine-ass bitch that came out, and she was a dude. And if you look at her, both of you will be like, yeah, I'll fucking tap that. So it's gotten to the point where a dude can transform and become a hot-ass bitch, right? That's happening right now. So the argument is, well, I shouldn't have to tell you that in the past I used to be a guy, because now I'm a woman, and I believe I'm a woman, and I've always been a woman inside.
Fuck that.
And then the other argument, which is the one that I defend, is that I'm super down with you doing whatever you want with yourself. Okay? I play a lot of Warcraft, so sometimes I want to be like a demon hunter with horns and shit, and be able to fly and be like a little.
What's
phoenix.
your point? What's
I'm
your
on
point
this
here?
shit.
What are you trying to?
Okay, my point is, I don't care what you do. Thank you for challenging me there. Yeah, I don't care what you think you are. I don't care what you want to be, but we gotta be honest. And if you wanna fuck me, and you tell me, look, I used to be a dude, but now I'm a girl, and look how fine I look. Do you wanna fuck me? And I'm like, damn, yeah, I wanna fuck you. Then that's fair. But if you come at me and you tell me you're a girl and you used to be a dude, and I end up fucking you, then you see the problem that we can have there. We can have a murder scene.
Well, I mean, I think that that's something that's where you cross the line. You should tell someone, obviously, if you used to, I mean, the thing is, if you want to have kids, then that's when the other person, or maybe you're sterile or whatever. I mean, but
if it's, I guess the point is if you
they should come
are
with a
in it just
disclaimer.
for the, right? We should just all have like a surgeon warning and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they say their argument is like, I mean, I'm a human being. Why should I have like a little card that says like, oh look, I'm a transformer?
No, I agree with that either. No, you shouldn't need to do that either.
I shouldn't be using those words. I'm really sorry.
I mean, we're explaining it to the best of our abilities, because we don't know anybody.
Really,
personally, I don't know anybody.
Kiko sounds like he's speaking on experience, but like he's got something built up inside him. He's trying to get out, but keep going.
Not really, but I mean, I don't mind, dude. I want to show you the girl that I'm talking about.
No, I've seen him.
She's fine as fuck.
Her, him, he, she.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
No. That was
No. My deal was just that, like, yeah. I mean, technically, that's like in the heat of a moment, in like a dating type of situation, right? You're at a bar. Oh, hey, what's up? This and that, whatever. Like, if things escalate quickly, like, yeah, you would never really have time for that disclaimer, but like but people are expected to say a disclaimer, say if they came with any sort of STD or any sort of anything like that, right? Like, technically the right thing to do would be like, hey, look, like, I'm totally down for this. I'm gonna be protecting myself, but this is my thing. Or do you not say that? Like, I don't know. That I would probably not be in that situation.
I think they should.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was reading
because recently I was fucked by a dude.
No, dude.
No. Because I was reading. You guys had
and I was.
You guys had that that podcast the other day. What's his name? All right, you had that podcast on the serial killers, and there's this guy. I'm trying to find out what his name is.
Did he have the human part?
I don't know if it was gay? Paul. I believe it's
Bundy.
He was. Let me see. Okay. So, man, I can't really find them right now. The truth is,
What's the gist
Whatever,
of it?
just
okay, the point is this guy, and the reason I'm
no.
bringing this up is the whole disclaimer thing that we're speaking of. So this guy murdered 10 to 12 people along with his wife. Both of them raped, tortured, murdered them, right? And they, both of them just as guilty, and they arrest the guy and his wife after they find them. And then his wife pretty much throws him under the bus on a bunch of extra things that, the cops needed information on. And so they cut her a plea deal, and she only does 12 years, right? And this guy's locked up for life. And now she's living somewhere, I don't know, in Canada or so. Changed her name and happily married to a new guy, has 3 children. And she just happened to partake in killing 10 to 12 people, raping, torturing them. And now she's living, somewhere. But
what up? This is somebody we talked about in our
no,
podcast?
I believe you didn't speak about them. But the point is that this lady, she was working at her son's elementary school as a volunteer. And she had changed her name, so that's how they didn't, but eventually started blowing up, and they dismissed her from that job.
Yeah.
But the point is, they're trying to put her on the what's it called, the violent offender, sexual offender list where all the pedophiles go, and they never put her on that. And this lady just happens to be walking around happily married with 3 kids, and little do you know that she raped, tortured, killed, and 10, 12 people with her husband, with their last husband. So that's what I'm saying. I think certain things should come with a disclaimer.
Is it fair that she needs to disclaim that to her current job, right?
What's the point of that story? What was that?
I don't know. I was just thinking about the whole disclaimer thing, and you were talking about, if you just happen to have, been a man in the past and you changed this and that. There's certain things that just should be put out there.
Oh, yeah, that's a hell of a disclaimer.
I used to be a man, and I also killed and tortured 12 to 13 people.
However, if I'm fucking you, I prefer your disclaimer be, hey, I tortured and killed 12 kids, than, hey, I used to have a dick. And I know that sounds fucked. Yeah. But for some reason, at the moment, while I'm fucking you, and you ask me to decide, all right, what's a disclaimer? I was a murderer, but I'm a woman, or you're fucking a guy. I might just be like, all right, you fucking murdering bitch. Let me fuck you, and then I'm dipping the fuck out of here.
Damn, bro. I don't even know how. I don't even want to answer that one. That's crazy. Either.
No. Leave me to dry.
No, bro. It's just that's a hard one.
What would you choose, motherfucker?
No comment.
There is no choosing.
No go. Okay, no choosing.
You're already
fucking
mid-stroke in there. That's not choosing.
All right.
No, but one thing I do want to talk about, with the disclaimer thing, it's okay, so she doesn't have to, in Kiko's argument earlier, she shouldn't need to disclaim that she used to be a dude, right? Because she's always identified as a woman. She's just finally transformed into one, right? Or transitioned into one. Right. But here is this ex-murderer that's moved to Canada, who's changed her name, who did her time, and she didn't disclaim the same way that a transgender didn't disclaim. However, they did dismiss her from that role or from her job, right? And they wouldn't have given her that job if she had that past.
Of course.
But is that so? Is it not fair for us to ask for, not for us, but for a disclaimer to be said with certain things and not others? Not specifically transgender, but just speaking in general, because it is a disclaimer, right? It's okay for the government or for corporations to dismiss you from duties for not disclaiming something and then later on finding out about it. But it's not okay for me to, or for anyone to be against being with someone that they felt didn't disclaim something before. And then if they were to leave or, stop relations right there, the person who left would be called a transphobic person or be, chastised for whatever. Am I making sense?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, to tell you the truth, I think that's more of like the person's decision, the person, like the actual transgender person. And I feel like you're making a decision for somebody else other than you. And I don't think that's fair. And either way, someone should love you for who you are, no matter your past, right? That's what they say. So
Yeah.
so I feel like common courtesy is to tell hey, look, I used to have a dick, and
I
that's
think-
it. If at the end of the day, if they love you and they don't give a crap, then let them be. But you're kind of just like, I don't know.
I think you nailed it on the head there with like common courtesy. Like if you're with someone, and I mean one thing is just messing around, but if you're with someone and you're actually trying to maybe pursue something, then that truth needs to come out sooner than later.
Yeah, exactly.
The person who you're telling the truth to is going to feel lied to a certain degree the longer you prolong that news, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and eventually, I mean, you always open up and tell your loved one, things about you that no one else knows. So why not tell them, that. And I feel like if you tell someone that and they love you no matter what, you're just gonna love them more for it. So
right.
either
Yeah,
way, I mean,
you'd respect it more, right? Getting ahead of it and say, wow, they trusted me with this information.
Yeah.
We're at maybe like a point in time where like this is like make or break kind of situation. So I decided to tell you up front. Yeah, that is interesting. That is an interesting way of putting that. Yeah. I mean, I never really saw it that way. I don't know if I don't think I'll ever find myself in that situation anymore. Just like you, I'm pretty much happily married. Just my wedding got canceled because of the virus. But I mean, I would be, situation aside, that might be something that our future children or might be exposed to the more common it is out there, and we're gonna have to be there to like talk them through this, right? So this is why we talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, I think what I had mentioned earlier about forcing people on things is the whole what's a nicer word for gay?
Homosexual,
your sexuality or whatever. I feel like now I see commercials,
Versatile.
a Chevy commercial or just any, these big companies, and I feel like they're kind of pushing that, and it's like that's not something that you should be pushing, and I feel like today's kids are growing up a bit, a little bit.
if you're giving them the option if you're giving them the option that might push someone over, I mean, that isn't. But then there's two sides of that. I mean, I agree with you. I go to the Chase and like they'll show like the ad of two dudes purchasing a house.
Yeah.
Right. And at sub level, that's fine.
Yeah, of course.
I look at that. It's not like they're not like all over each other or anything like that. Like the same way that they like the PDA in like bank and other big corporation stuff, they don't really go too deep on the PDA, but they kind of insinuate like a certain relationship, right? But there are other ads that I find to be a little bit more in your face about it, and I think I think that there, we
don't push it, like there's nothing. Look, I mean, I hate to say it, but statistically speaking, I would think if you look at the numbers, it's not really normal to be that way, but I'm completely fine with it. Like, that's okay. Maybe you're born thinking differently. That's fine, and do what you want to do, because I'm in control of no one else's life but my own life. So I wouldn't, I don't care about. But when you start trying to push it, I feel like today's kids, little sponges, are seeing this, and they almost, they're trying to normalize it in a way where, it's kind of rubbing off on them, and it's becoming, I don't know.
Let me ask you something. Do you think as a man, and this is like a total heterosexual question, but do you think as a man that, girls kissing girls and dudes kissing dudes, which one is easier to bounce back from, if any?
I mean, I'm a man, so what do you mean? Like, which one is less?
Yeah, like for instance, if you have okay, so girls kissing girls, like in social, this is my opinion. I'm just gonna say it so it makes more sense. If a girl kisses a girl, it's easier for people to see that and say like, oh well, that was just for fun. That was just
Yeah,
that was,
but
you know what I mean?
I think that's easier to bounce back from, especially
than a dude kissing another
Yeah.
dude, and
But-
it's like, well, now what do we do, right? 'Cause
But I'm
that,
not.
like,
Yeah, that's just my head. But they're both the same, you know. Otherwise, unless I know maybe a girl does it just more for playing around and stuff. But I mean, like you said, that's just a hetero, you know, sexual way of thinking. But I mean, it's both the same, and there's nothing wrong with either or. But I wouldn't push it, you know.
yeah.
I feel, you know, and to give a bit of a conclusion and also adding to this, we wanted to provide today our new sponsors, which are Rainbow Thongs.
What is
And these are thongs completely made for homosexual men. They support
They
the
have
podcast.
a little hole in the front.
I'm not sure if they're gonna be supporting the podcast after today's comments from our guest, but these are the beautiful thongs that you could be wearing with your mate, and they're called Rainbow Thongs. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Lito Daze, thank you for coming. We love your comments. Follow him up on Lito Daze on Instagram, on YouTube. And, you know, he's also sometimes selling CDs in
Yeah.
Miami Lakes or in
Hialeah.
Hialeah. I love
Hey,
you.
take care.
Peace.
Love,
Thank you.
and peace, and ayahuasca.
ayahuasca? No shoes. Take your shoes off.